I'm going to show you guys something very, very useful, and I think you're going to love it. So, okay, I have this wallet here on Sanchonet. So I just use an average Eternal wallet, and I've set it to Sanchonet here in the network, Sanchonet. And like every wallet that you usually use, you create a wallet here, right? Get the seed phrase, do your stuff, password, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. That's done. You have a wallet. And what you do is you go to receive and you grab the address. And usually if you want money for Sanchonet, you go to sancho.network/faucet. And you just, put that address in there, prove that you're not a robot, beep, 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 and then you get the money from it. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. That being said, back to the wallet. I want to use this wallet on my cold environment from the terminal, like we used to do.
Ooh.
So how do I do that? I want to use the very same wallet. I don't want to just create random things. So from my cold environment, I can generate the very same wallet without necessarily interacting with internet. Well,
You need the keys, right?
no, this is part of the things that you have to add on your cold environment when you build it. One of the things you have to add, you go to Google or any search bar, you type Cardano signer, and you look for git match Cardano signer on GitHub. And from there, you're going to go into the release. I don't know if you see it. That's pretty small. Okay, right there. The releases. So you go there. Did I click on it? No, I have not. I have not. And you scroll down, and the file that you need to transfer to your cold environment is this one. Linux x64.tar.jz. So you click on this and you save the link and you put it on a USB pen as you usually do, and you move it over to your cold environment. But for me, I don't need to do that because it's just so I'll just copy the link address for the sake of the example, and from here I'll just create a directory. I'm going to call it let's go key tutorial. There you go. Whoops, I already had a keys tutorial. Okay, so there's nothing in it. All right. So I'm just going to grab, again, let's pretend that it's my cold environment. Let me just do this. Okay, so let's pretend it's my cold environment. And I move over that file that I've saved into a USB pen that's recently formatted, save, encrypted with GPG, if you know how to do it, hopefully. Move that over to the cold environment. And yeah, I'm just gonna get it. Okay, so now I got this file on my cold environment. Now I need to extract it. So the command is tar-xvf and the name of the file, which is Cardano signer, and that's it. I have it there. So all I got to do is, if I want to use it, globally everywhere, you might want to move this into your user bin, local bin, to be sure that from anywhere you use it, it's going to work. So let's sudo move Cardano signer into my user local bin. But I've already done it, so technically it's already there, but that's what you should do. Okay, that's done. Cool. So what can I do now? Now that it's there, I can just type cardano signer, and I will see all the commands. This might look confusing, but I'm gonna get you through it, right? Okay, let's get back to the thing there. Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put it? There you are.
I got an idea.
Eternal wallet. So you created that wallet. Of course, you have a seed phrase. So we're going to restore that wallet on your cold environment using the cardinal signer with that mnemonic phrase. It's going to be the same wallet. The keys will be derived from the same mnemonic. Okay, cool. Let's do that. So the command here to generate Cardano keys or extended keys.
Oh, look at this.
What was that? Okay, never mind. Well, so the command is cardinal signer key gen, and then the path, which in our case, depending on the keys that we want, we could want payment keys, stake keys, dereps, cold, whatever. But for the sake of the example, I'm going to use the payment keys because we want to create, for example, a governance action, right? And I want to do it from the CLI because Ryan's not ready, and the website's not properly made, and he's been called out, and Ryan, what have you done, and all that
Ryan.
stuff.
Love you, Ryan.
He can't catch up. Anyway.
Fucking Ryan, man.
That was a week. Yeah, I'm joking. Anyway, so.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I love this guy. He's great. Okay, I'm gonna just raise that up. I have the command here. So, for example, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. Don't share it to anyone else, please. It's my secret key on CentralNet. Okay, don't just no screenshot allowed. Let me make it bigger. So I just wanna. Hold on. Okay, there you have it. Okay, so it's there. Blur, tourist, sister, climb, bus, remain. Do not copy that. Okay, so here's the command. Cardinal signer key gen. And the path, I mentioned payment because I want the payment keys. I want to use the deriving path. The derivation path, sorry. I want to use the derivation path so that seed phrase will give me payment keys. Okay? And I have also to mention mnemonic option and in quotation mark the entire seed phrase. And then I close the quotation mark. Don't make any mistakes, right? There won't be any automated stuff that's going to finish the word for you. You have to literally type them one by one. And then as outputs, you have to mention the name that you want for your private key and the name that you want for your public key, verification key. Okay? So you can do it this way by mentioning path payment. If you want payment, you can mention path. You can mention path stake if you want stake. But what it does is just literally going to switch the derivation path according to what kind of keys you want. So for example, I can do that, and it's going to give me here my keys. And if I cat into it, payment.vkeys, you will see that it's a normal Shelly key. Because I didn't ask for an extended. If you want it extended, you can literally write down vkey extended. I didn't think it was necessary for what we do, but if you want to, you can. Alright, so I got my payment keys, but I also want my stake keys. So again, cardinal signer key gen, The path, I want stake. Mnemonic, the same mnemonic. And the two output, my output signing key and my output verification key. Enter. There you go. And now I have my payment keys and my stake keys. But for example, if I wanted to use the derivation path instead, so let's go with that. I'm just going to switch the path so you can understand what I'm talking about. You probably already saw that before. So instead of writing stake for the path, I'm going to write this. I think you already saw that before, right? So 0 and 1 would give you payment keys. But if I do it like this, it's probably going to be very confusing. So let me just JSON extended, for example, and you're going to see something like this, which is kind of, you know, some people can sort this out, but it's kind of messy. So I just figured that you can pipe it into a GQ command and try to make it look better, like this.
What's going on out there?
What's that?
This vlog?
Okay, someone talking. So okay, so I use the
out there, huh?
I'm getting crossed wires here, guys. I can't tell who's saying what.
I think it's Shepherd.
Oh, Shepard, what's up, man?
I do apologize. My mic was open and I was talking to the dog. I am so sorry, guys.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can talk to Ryan as much as you want. It's just that you can share it with us if next time.
Ryan, I apologize.
Damn.
So much slack, man.
Mike is in a mood.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. You know, it was like the gate was open. I had to, you know, yeah, never mind. Okay, so if you just pipe it into a GQ command, you can see it better like this, right? So derivation path 0 gives me payment keys, right? As you can see, verification key, signing key. But if I switch that, 0 and 1 will give me payment keys, right? But if I switch that derivation path here and I use 2, now I have stake keys, stake verification keys, extended. And if I switch it to 3, what is it going to give me? What is it going to give me?
Europe key.
Yes! That's the right answer from the guy who already knows the answer.
I wrote the SIP on that one, so.
Derived keys, path 4 will be control committee cold keys, and path 5 will be the hot keys of the control committee. So depending on the keys you want, derived from the very same seed phrase, you get all kinds of keys that you want from the same seed phrase. So if you're ever a D-rep on Eternal, using Eternal Wallet, using GovTool tooling and everything, you can still use those from your cold environment on your terminal to build your own transactions and do your stuff from the CLI. And everything that you do there will have an impact directly on here. So if I transact using the CLI, the same transaction will be shown as well on my wallet.
And that's the point really here, Mike, right? Is you get to have the best of all worlds in this type of setup, right? You get to enjoy the benefits of all the different setups.
Exactly. And what's nice about it is that on mainnet, it's going to give you access to all governance actions if you want to. So all you got to do is build your cold environment, generate your keys from your mnemonic, your wallet mnemonic, and then you can use that to build safely from that cold environment. You can build your governance action transaction and everything, sign it on your cold environment, and then bring the signed transaction file on chain, which is unsensitive. So that will give you the opportunity to submit any governance actions you want because you're an ADA holder from the terminal. because it's not a feature that's implemented in a GUI or a domain or whatever, because for any reason they're not ready. This is features that you can use now from the command line interface. So,
Would you say it's best practices to do this, Mike? I mean, it or is it? It seems to me like it would almost be worthy of that type of designation, but
well, I mean, like,
curious what.
for now, this is what we have, but once the GUI is going to be ready, it will be as safe to do that from a hot wallet on using those websites, because at all time you always have to check what you sign. So from internal wallet, every time you have to sign a transaction, you have access to the metadata and the content of your transaction. So I suggest that you read everything that you sign before signing it. And I don't think there's much of a risk if you're aware of what you sign, whatever it's from a cold environment or using one of the hot wallets that we know, or a hardware wallet. But that being said, make sure that when you generate those keys that you see here, that you do it from a cold environment, because these keys are unprotected keys, which means that if I lose control over these keys, these files, I lose control over the money that's in my wallet. Which is why you should never, ever, ever do that on a computer that's connected to internet. Always on a cold environment that's isolated. You just bring the tool over there and you do all the things we did from the cold environment.
It's like when you build a boat, you don't build it on the water. You build it, and then when it's ready, it hits the ocean.
Yes.
God, what a perfect analogy I just came up with. Somebody write that down.
Now, I don't have an address. Okay? I'm gonna have to speed things up. I don't have an address. I need an address. So what do? Let's build it. Cardano-cli, Conway, address, build. And when I press enter, I see all the required fields that I need to put. All the options. Okay, let's do it. First, let's break the line. I need to mention this is required. So payment verification key or payment verification key file or script file. I'm not going to get into the script file, but I do have my verification key. Okay, let's do it. That was payment verification key file, which is payment.vkey. Let's break the line. What's next? I want to include in my address my stake verification key. So if I ever delegate to somebody, the money that's in my address will be considered for payment and for stacking. So stake verification key file, that is stake.vkey. There you go, break line, and let's mention the testnet. Why not? But I already have it mentioned. Testnet Magic 4, which is the network ID of CentroNet. If it's on mainnet, you type down mainnet. Let's break the line, and I need a file for the output. Out file, I'm going to call it payment.addr, which is going to be my payment address. Enter, and if I cat to see it, I have an address. Alright, but is it the right address? I don't know. Let's query
That's
the
important.
UTXO. Let's query the UTXO. Cardano-cli, Conway, query UTXO. And I want the UTXO of the address, which is the content of my payment.addr file. And I have 100,000, which looks pretty similar to this. So I can assume that it's the same wallet. Cool. Now I can build a confidence action. So I had an idea. we could build something we've never done before and that nobody ever done, not even on mainnet. I was thinking about reducing the treasury cut.
Oh, what a novel idea.
I just had it. I don't know why right now like that. I know it's never been done before, and there's
He's being sarcastic, everybody. You can't tell because he's from Quebec, but he's being very sarcastic.
so okay. I've written some rationale. So the title is Decrease Treasury Tax from 20% to 10%. And my abstract is this governance action seeks to be similar to the one we have on mainnet. Motivation, these guys think they are so cool because they managed to pull this off, but we want to be cool too, so might as well do the same thing for learning purposes. All right. Rationale, some do not know how to do this and believe that they should. Let's do it. This is my rationale, and a reference link to, of course, what I usually do for everything that I send to Ryan.
Gentlemen, in exactly 5 days, we will be $100 billion richer.
Okay, so that's my rationale.
So, Mike, what is the what's the idea here? I mean, obviously we have a mainnet governance action that was recently proposed, governance action proposal. But what are we trying to do with the SanchoNet version? What's the idea here?
Honestly, it's just to do the same thing.
I do kind of like that idea, though. We almost have a mirror of, you know what I mean? A mirror, and then we can tell people, hey, if you feel passionate about this on mainnet, you can come get some of the skills to really go direct to the source and
yes,
engage here first, and then use those skills. Okay, that makes sense.
But there's
Once I said it out loud.
There's something I wanted to show you though. I have not registered the stake address of this wallet purposely because first I want to see if they made a check for that, which I believe they did, but I'm not 100% sure. And if they have not, there's a way to validate if your stake address is registered, because if it's not, at the end of this governance action, the money that you deposited for it will go straight back to the treasury, and you do not want that. So, that being said, I'm gonna have to ask you guys for some money.
Look, times are tough right now, man. It's actually not really a good time. I wish I could.
Oh, come on, I only have 100,000. I need just like.
Are you talking about test data?
Yes. Of
Okay,
course.
sorry. Right.
Don't worry about money. This is test data. If you guys have a SanchoNet wallet, it would be much
Sancho
appreciated.
bucks.
Sancho bucks, yes. Because I just literally, I recently did this, and well, actually, I could. Yeah, I could do that. I'm gonna just send to myself.
Quick question, Mike. Could we change formally the name of test data on SanchoNet to Sancho bucks? Is that something we could put on the table, maybe?
Yes, we can put that in the
Just
constitution.
for hypothetically.
I like that. Sancho bucks.
Yes, you will be amazing actually.
Sancho
Yeah,
bucks.
so relatable. I love it.
Well, I need to reach out to you guys because we need a real constitution on SanchoNet.
Yeah,
Because
we do.
as it is right
Yeah.
now, we have none, and we can literally say that
Embarrassing.
the main currency of SanchoNet has to be called Sancho bucks,
Mhm.
and we'll just ratify it, and it's going to be Sancho bucks. No more test data. That's over.
Are we gonna create our own constitution? I'm sorry, I've been missing calls, so I don't know what the status is on them.
Of course, it has to be done.
Yes.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yes. Because right now the constitution on Sancho is like kind of it's boring. It's like 3 lines. I think it says this and this and that, and that's it. So we need something.
Prestige World Yeah,
proper.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Prestige Worldwide has, I mean, we are the constitutional committee, basically. So
I want to craft a governance action from my cold terminal. How do I do that? I know that some of you
we're
guys.
back on the cold environment. Sorry.
I'm
you
on
can
the.
use a UTXO, one of your UTXOs,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
you can spend it. So you can spend it on the cold environment.
Okay, so I grab this, but before I move it to my cold environment. Whoa, wait, what is this? Did you guys send me money? Already? What is going on?
It wasn't me.
No, I haven't sent you anything. I'm like
It was Ryan.
really unobservant right now.
Okay, genuinely, I copied your seed phrase and was going to do it, but
Yes!
then I didn't want to derail it.
Somebody. Yeah, I had to expect that from someone eventually. That's a good one. So he copied my seed phrase. You did it! So I lost control over that wallet live.
Sancho style.
But since you have control over it now, can you send some money in it? Would be much appreciated. Good one. You know, that's what happens when you laugh at Ryan. He goes back at you and he just literally steals your seed phrase. So think about it. Be nice to Ryan.
That actually wasn't me this time.
Well, it's somebody from this channel.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, that's very funny. But let's get back to it. And send some money back. If you want to. If not, we're going to use another wallet. It was just so you guys know first.
Is that because you share your stuff? Were you like, did you do that?
Did
How
I do
did
what?
somebody do that?
Oh, because
You share your seed phrase?
I showed
Too.
no, I showed the seed phrase to everyone, and I did the
Yeah,
kind of
I
joke.
remember you doing that and me thinking like,
You
did
shouldn't be
really
sharing
track
seed
that?
pages.
No, somebody took the time to screenshot it and write it down, and just literally took money
That
from
doesn't
it.
take long.
I was like, "What happened? What's going
It was a
on?
test
What?
and
I haven't
we
done any
failed.
transaction, and there's less money in it. What?
It doesn't take long to copy down a seed phrase.
No, it doesn't take so long. You're absolutely right. But it's test data. This is what SanchoNet is for. Welcome. You're one of us now.
Sancho bucks, please.
Yeah, why
Sancho
would you
bucks.
call it test data?
I
right
don't.
after-
I'm used to
come on.
that. It's not. The Constitution is not yet enacted. Guys, we need to get back on the workshop. We're not
You're
progressing.
right, guys.
Let's focus. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to build.
Thanks for the Sancho bucks.
I want to build a protocol parameter change. How do I do that? So now I know, or I should know, that if I want to do a protocol parameter change, I will need 2 UTXO minimum. One for the payment and one for the collateral, because I have to run the guardrail script in my transaction,
Mhm.
or else it won't be valid. So I need something for the collateral, but right now I only have 1 UTXO because somebody took the seed phrase and probably, not probably, he did 2 outputs. So 1 output to get back into the wallet and the other output to send himself somewhere some money from it. So I'm back to, oh wow, awesome. I'm back to 2 now. You see guys how fast I am. Like,
So now you've received some test data. It sounds like.
I did. So now that I have 3 UTXO, what's going on? You're gonna have to stop doing that, because or else I will really not be able to build the transaction, because if I use a UTXO and in the meantime you spend it, then I won't be able to do it. So just make sure you.
It's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be trick. Well, no, it's just gonna slow things down, even though it's funny. But anyway, I need at least 2 UTXO. So what I do now that I have those UTXO, I'm gonna move those UTXO into my cold environment, because this is a query that I can do only on a node that's connected to other peers. So I have my UTXO, I have the amount of each UTXO, I move them over to my cold environment, and I do not need to get them out of there anymore. Because the output, as mentioned in the past workshop, the output of the transaction becomes the input of the next one. So I can use the output hash along with the index for my next transaction, because I know in advance the amount of money that's going to be in it from the cold environment. So this means that I can pre-build the next 100 transactions from the first UTXO, which is going to give me another UTXO that I can use for another transaction, which is going to give me another UTXO that I can use for another transaction, and chain them like that infinitely, as long as I got money in it.
It's really incredible.
Okay, this is on my cold environment. So now how do I build my governance action? I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Or how would I know exactly what command to write? Try something.
By using some of the graphs that you have created?
Yes, you can do
You can
that.
you can just start throwing the beginning and it'll prompt you the rest.
Ooh, cardano-cli. Okay.
Yeah.
I got my top commands here. Okay. So I'm presuming since it's for governance, it's probably going to be a Conway command. Okay, let's do that. Then cardano-cli Conway. Whoops, caps lock. Conway. What else? I don't know. Enter. What do we have here? We have more commands. Address, key, genesis, governance. Oh, what does it say here? Governance commands. Okay, let's do it. Governance. Oh, what do we have here? We have action, committee, derep, or vote.
Hold on, remember there's some rules here. There's some rules, right? Things inside of brackets are required. What are your, and then what was the other rule you had? Things.
Okay, no, it's not brackets. Things inside parentheses are required. Things inside square brackets are optional.
That's it. There you go. Okay.
So if I want to move forward with the commands, I have to either write, because it's required, I have to either write action, or the separator means or. So I have to put action or committee or derep or vote. In our case, I want to build a governance action, so I'm going to write action, enter. So now I have all 7 types of governance action. Yes, they are all there, all of them. Free access, with your own node, with your own stuff, with your own cold environment. Decentralization, that's beautiful. Okay, which one I want to do? I want to do a protocol parameter update. Let's do that.
Are you suggesting that Ryan is gatekeeping governance?
No, not at all. I'm suggesting that they have workflow and you know, a roadmap and things to follow, and they're not there yet. Yeah, but eventually we're gonna have all that on a nice GUI on Gov tools. But
No, you guys aren't allowed.
It's interesting though, because when that happens, when that day comes, which will be great, and we'll definitely probably have multiple solutions to this stuff, hopefully. But this is what will be happening under the hood, right? It's like this is where we can just look at what's like the actual cogs turning under the hood. So we'll, even when that day comes, if we do use that, there will still be just conceptually an understanding of the hands-on, you know.
you know, that's funny, especially in semantics, because the difference between not allowed and not easy to do, right, would be that if I was not allowed, I wouldn't even have access to it from the CLI.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not easy.
Exactly.
I do have access. If I wanted to on mainnet, literally on mainnet, I could do an update committee. Oh, but there's no election process, and I don't care. Can I do it? I can, because this is a free, open, transparent, trustless system. I can do it. And guess what? If the constitutional committee itself doesn't like it, well, they can't vote on it. So if SPOs like those guys, and if the D-Reps likes those guys, we're on plumbing hard fork and we got past it, they can elect anyone they want up there. And this is cool. This is great.
Sounds exciting.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to understand this, because if the GUI goes down for some reason during a governance cycle, someone needs to know how to go in there and continue to function. So,
or if there's a consequential vote and they're like, hey, we can misrepresent certain things and we can count on people not reading certain things, and we can just imagine if there was a consequential thing that involved interests that had, there's lots of conspiratorial things that can happen. Not saying they would, but
I propose my help. I propose my help for free to anyone who want to craft governance actions, because as a matter of fact, even if I don't hold the money, what I can do is I can use that person's wallet address with the 100,000 deposit that he owns, craft the transaction, have it output to his stake address. Once this is done, that I can get from the same address of this guy, and I can craft the old transaction for him.
But he has to sign it.
He has to sign it. But of course,
this is how we do it at Intersect, kind of.
Yes.
Like, we have different wallets, right? Have the money, and then someone will build the transaction. Someone will build the transaction. A technical, has all these governance actions in it, has all the parameters, and then just passes to the person it controls, or people that control the wallet with money in it to sign it. It works really well.
I don't know why it's not a priority at some point, but that's not my business. But with this,
but those ain't Sancho bucks. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
With the SIP 30, what you can do exactly with that is you can have the. Okay, my writing is very awful, but the lender here in that transaction, and the borrower who's going to pay, for example, 300 ADA, because this guy's going to lose 250 ADA of reward for doing that, so there's got to be some fees. But in the same transaction, I can have this guy pay here back to this guy's address as an output. So this guy, let's say lender address here, and I can craft this whole transaction, and the lender can verify it and see if, okay, that's my address, okay, the money in the deposit gets back to my stake address, cool, and this guy here is giving me the money that I asked for to lend him the money, sure, he'll sign it, and this guy will sign it, and somebody like me will submit it on chain, and done. You have your governance action on chain.
That's awesome.
That doesn't require a smart contract or anything. Just a GUI, SIP30, the whole thing crafted for you. You have a lender, you have a borrower.
Well, what would be the potential? Is there an attack vector there? I'm trying to think of.
No, because you know what you sign. When you sign a transaction, you see the transaction. So you can verify that the return address is yours. You can verify that the stake address of the deposit is yours. You can see everything. But we will see it right now.
Is this what you and Adam Dean are working on?
No, I'm too busy for that.
I'm teasing you.
I don't even get paid. It's fine to do free work. It's just that there's a limit to my workflow of free stuff that I do. I can't. I'm sorry, guys.
The
At
dean
this
of
point,
the dean
I'm
of
doing ICC for free, all those freaking meetings, everything, those workshops for free. It's cool, it's fun, but it's like, it's enough.
Mike. It's okay. We love you, man. You're kind of lazy, but we love you, and we can look past that.
God,
Just kidding.
this is too much. I
No,
can't.
we understand, Mike. We understand.
I like to do it.
We-
I like to do it. It's fun. It's just that I have no. If I ever build a tool like this, I'm gonna have to throw something out, and I don't wanna toss away the workshops because I believe it's important for at least some people of the community to know how to do these things. So
ControNet University. It's very important, Mike. Thank you.
let's
And yeah,
let's carry on. I have a lot to cover tonight, and I want to make sure I can make it. So the governance section we want to do is a create protocol parameter update. So I just wrote it down, enter. Whoa, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. Why? Because there's a lot of protocol parameters. Look at that.
it's a great time to plug the Cardano Constitution, right? If you know, this is really like the meat and the potatoes right here of
Not
what
yet.
we need to.
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
I will get there. I will get there.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. First, what is required? You have to mention the mainnet. So you know what? We'll just build it together. Shall we? So I'm gonna have a little notepad here. Alright. So let's write it down. Now the first that's required, I'm gonna type testnet because I'm on testnet, right? Next, the governance section deposit. Alright, let's do it. Governance action deposit. 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 How much is it?
100,000.
100,000. It's not in ADA. It is
Sancho
not
bucks.
100,000 Sideshow Bob. No, Sideshow Bob.
Sancho laces.
Sancho Bucks. It sounds like Sancho Bob, Sideshow Bob. It's so similar. Sancho Bucks. But we have to denominate it in Loveless. So I'm gonna have it 60. One Sancho Bucks is 1 million Loveless.
Naturally.
Yes. So let's add that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got my deposit. Next. Okay, what is required here is a deposit. A deposit stake verification key or a key file or an hash or a script file or a stake address. I do have my stake key, so I'm gonna go with that, right? Because we derived it. So let's do it. And it is stake.vkey. All right. Next. What is required is an anchor here. You have an anchor URL, which is the URL of your anchor metadata. So I have it here. I showed it to you. So I got it on GitHub because I didn't want to break my head explaining to you how an IPFS gateway work. That's going to be a whole session for that. But if you're interested, we could do that eventually. But for now, it's going to be GitHub. So I have this. Let's do that.
Excuse me.
Anchor URL. There it is. The address of my URL. And the anchor hash, data hash. How do I get it? Can someone tell me? How do I get this? Someone want to try something? No? Okay. So first I need to have the content of that file on my server to hash it. Because right now it's on my URL link, so I might want to do wget and get the file from the link. Okay, now I have it. It's right here. Cool. I need to hash it. So the command is cardano-cli hash. What else? I don't know. Enter. So I got the option anchor hash or script. It's probably anchor hash, right? Anchor hash. What else? I don't know. Oh, it's anchor data. Sorry, I misread. Anchor data. So what else? I don't know. Enter. What do I got here? Okay, so what is required? Text. I can put the text itself. I could put the file binary, file text, or URL. Oh, I could have used the URL. Damn, I should have known. Now I have the text. I'm going to use the text. So, file text. And I called it ppchange.json ld. Enter. And this is my hash of my file. So I will copy it and paste it there. Break line. Next. What's next? I don't know. Let's go see it again. Oh my god. What is next? If there is a previous governance action of the same type, I need to mention the transaction ID and the index of that previous governance action. How do I get it? I know some of you know it, so might as well talk right now.
Well, I just want to ask a question here. This one's in a bracket. This isn't a bracket, so this is technically an option, right?
The reason why they made this optional, you're absolutely correct. It's in square brackets. The reason why they made it optional is because you can't require it if there's no previous governance action ID. So if we got past the first hard fork and there was no governance action of that type ever made on chain, then you have no previous governance action, so obviously it shouldn't be required in that case.
Yeah. Any reason why they didn't precede it with a government action, just to like have like a Genesis block type of idea? You have one to start it off. So you could require it, because now it's not really required, right? Like for this transaction to be valid, you don't need to, but you really want to.
No, yeah, you need to. That's
okay.
Oh yes. If I submit it without mentioning the previous governance action, not only my governance action will be invalid, so that but if it ever gets, or if it ever reach the thresholds, it won't pass. It just won't pass. Okay. But I doubt that it will reach the threshold, because we have some knowledgeable DREPs and SPOs, if SPOs can vote on it, and constitutional committee members who will obviously see that it hasn't been built properly and will say that it's unconstitutional. I would be one of... Yes.
It just leaves me to ask one follow-up question: is why does this bracketed step cause a transaction to fail when another bracketed step wouldn't? How does the ledger know that this one is more important than a different one?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, anything in brackets, my understanding is that that's an option. You don't have to include it. But you said this one will, if I don't include the previous gov action transaction ID, you said this transaction will fail, right?
Yes.
But if I don't include one of the other bracketed options, the transaction doesn't fail. It still succeeds.
Yes, well, okay. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Technically, it is required as soon as you have a previous governance action. But when they built this, they couldn't, technically speaking, it shouldn't be required because of what I said before, right? There's no... So yeah, it's a tricky question, but at the end of the day, yeah, from the SIP 1694 and from everything that we learned from, yeah, they, my wife.
I got it. I
Sorry.
think I got you. All right.
Okay.
But no, I understand now. I understand. It's like an anomaly. Something.
Yeah, so we have
It's an
to
edge case.
we have to change the governance action of the same type so they don't clash. So for
Right.
example, we have right now on mainnet a treasuryCut governance action for protocol parameter. If somebody else propose another protocol parameter chain while this one is still on chain, that person's going to have to use the previous governance action ID, which is going to be probably the Plutus V3 cost model, if I remember well. This would be the last one. So if either one of those two gets ratified and enacted, then the second one that's on chain will be automatically invalid.
Yes. Yeah, no, I understand the process, why it was there. I was just curious why this little kind of like semantic change in CLI is a little different, but I think I understand it now. Yeah.
This is the only reason. Obviously, I cannot give you any other good reason. It's normally required, but the reason why they cannot require it is because in the beginning there was none. So, yeah. Okay. So how do I get it? How can I query or see which one was the previous? Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. I need to query the governance state. Cardano-CLI Conway query and the governance state, gov state. And if I do that, oh, it's gonna give me a lot of information. Inside the governance state, you have access to all current, future, previous protocol parameter, governance actions, all those values, everything, including the proposals that are right now on chain. Yep. But I'm gonna do an out file. Let's put that into a file. govstate.json. Get into it. So as you can see, this is the Prestige Worldwide. By the way, I forgot to mention it, but we're here. Okay, and here we have the constitution that's about to change very soon with the guardrail script hash that we're going to use. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this somewhere because we're going to need it. I'm going to put it down there. Okay, we have the constitution script hash. But we're not there for that. We're there for the previous governance action of the same type. So let's scroll down a bit. We have the next ratify state. This is not what I'm looking for. I want the previous. And of course you can filter that with JQ. It's just that I wanted to show it to you. So let's scroll down. Oh, previous action governance action ID. And you got every types. Committee, constitution. So that's the constitution has never been changed. The hard fork, and the one we're looking for, the protocol parameter update. So this here is the previous governance action ID. So I'm going to copy it, put it somewhere here, and the index is 0. Okay, cool. I got what I was looking for. Nice. So let's get back to my protocol parameter change and let's look for the option. So it was called previous action ID. I'll copy it and paste it there. So my ID was this for the type I'm looking for. All right, cool, cool. Break line, and I'm gonna write down, whoops, same thing, but I will change that to governance action index. Index is 0. What else? What else do I need? Okay, so we're at the place where we have to choose the protocol parameter itself. Which one was it? We're looking for the treasuryCut. So where is it? treasuryCut. Minimum fee, constitution, pool, treasury expansion. This is the one. This is the one I'm looking for. Something important to mention. Every time you do a protocol parameter change, whatever value you want to change, you have to include every single protocol parameter that's inside the same array. Which means that if I want to change the treasury expansion, it has its own array. Cool. I can use just that and change its value. But if I wanted to change a pool threshold, a specific one for, let's say, hard fork, and I want to change the pool voting threshold for hard fork and raise it to 60%, then in my governance section I would need to add all of them along with their value in my governance section and just change the one that I need to change, or else it's not going to work. So make sure to remember that you have to include all protocol parameter from the same array, which is the square brackets pretty much. Same for the reps here. And that's it. Is that okay for everyone?
Yeah, right on. I'm following.
Okay. So we want to change the treasury expansion. That's the one I'm looking for right here. Let's put it there. Treasury expansion. And we want the value to be was it 0.1? I think it's 0.1.
Yeah, I think that's right. Mhm.
10%.
What about the rationale?
What do you mean rationale? It's right
It
here.
says right there, rationale, right?
No,
No, I just mean like a number with
No, we did it.
with
The URL
Yeah.
is my rationale right here in the hash.
Yeah. No, I just mean in the
the type.
yeah, in the command type that you're lining in, it says rationale, but that's just asking for the value that you're
Oh,
changing it to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's the way they formatted it in capital, but in my document I put those in angle brackets, and I specified the rules of the angle brackets is the type of value that you need to put.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, for example, max transaction execution unit, you have to put 2 integers. Right? I mean, it's specified. Return a stake address, you have to put the address. The stake script file, you have to put the file path. So it's the type of information, the type of value or information you need to put next to that option.
Yeah. I just would have assumed that expansion would have been an int, but I guess not. Or a non-whole, well, I guess because it's a decimal
Yeah.
number, it can't be an int.
I don't know why they use rationale semantic. I could ask them, but okay, yeah, I will. I don't know why. Okay, so what's next? That's it. I think that's it. Can we change more than one governance, one protocol parameter at the same time?
Yes,
Yes.
we can change them all.
Yes. And what if the 2 protocol parameter that I decide to change are from different groups? Because as you may know, there's
What do you mean? What do you mean by different groups?
there are 4 groups of governance. No, there are 4 groups of protocol parameter: governance, economic, networking, and technical.
They can have different groups, right?
Yes, but they can have different thresholds.
Oh, right. Yeah, so your governance action is being exposed to different rule sets in the form of different thresholds for different actions, and you're taking on the responsibility of all of them if you represent the different groups, right?
Yes, but what's important to mention is that for my example, I think I have it here. Actually, I pulled them off. I'm going to take some time to explain that. Let's go back into my governance state. We do have those values.
So I just want to make a clarification I found out. So integers cannot be decimal points. That's probably why they're using rationale instead of int, because an int would have to be a whole number.
Well,
and I guess you could.
they could have put float if they wanted to.
Right, I saw that float part, but maybe there's something else more dangerous that float allows, or no? You don't think?
I'm gonna have to ask them. I can't tell you. I would lie if I would tell you I know. So I'm gonna ask them.
All right, no problem. Sorry about that. Keep going.
Where was I? I lost it.
Hello, folks. Figured I'd crash the party for a second.
Hey, Samuel.
Hi.
How you doing?
Welcome to the Sancho party.
Nice.
I feel pretty good. I don't own the Sanchonet keys anymore. I mean, someone stole them from me, and I no longer have any control of them whatsoever. I don't know where they are.
I don't know. Maybe.
How unfortunate.
We're gonna put somebody on the case, and then.
Sancho detectives.
Yeah.
Unless you moved all the funds already, I do have backup keys somewhere. But
No.
I'm gonna use them.
Honestly, my first concern would be to make sure that the chain density doesn't change much. So I'm just gonna make sure that the ones who stays get enough delegation so the chain stays stable. And once this is done, once I have a good amount of blocks to be able to truncate in the future if we ever have to, then I'll start making it more fair to SPOs who would like to join. I totally lost it. What was I doing in there?
I wrecked you. Sorry.
No, you were just kind of you were summing up you were going back into the gov
groups.
state for.
I got it. I remember.
It was how many can you group together, and like how do you do that?
No, you can group them all together if you want to. But what's important to mention, like I said, if you have in your governance section protocol parameter from different groups all at once, as you may know, all 4 groups have different thresholds. And as you can see, the governance group threshold is 75%. So what if I try to
switch the max of all the thresholds is what he's saying.
Yes. Samuel, he spoiled it, but
oh, I spoiled it. I'll leave so I don't spoil
no. Stay. I'm joking. I'm just
Samuel,
joking.
You're ruining the whole thing, man.
Guys, stop.
Just kidding.
I'm just joking, but he's right because he knows his things. He's the tech lead of 5G. But yeah, so you would have to go with the highest threshold. So you have to consider that when you build your governance action. So if you ever have to add, for any reason, one of the governance protocol parameter, you would have to consider that the community and the D-reps would have to cross 75% as a threshold instead of
that makes sense.
Initial value that you had. But now we're only going to lower the treasury cut. We're good. It's going to be 67%. Okay, let's go back to it. What else do we need?
The output file, maybe?
Yeah, that too, but I was going to put it at the end, but sure, why not? Out file, we're going to call it pp change dot, pp change dot action. There you go. All right.
That's funny.
We're missing something. We're definitively missing something, guys. And I mentioned it in the beginning of this workshop. What are we missing? I'm gonna make it bigger so Samuel can spoil it.
Oh, I can't see it. I'm on my phone.
You're missing,
okay.
Isn't there like you need some sort of UTXO to send it back to or something like that?
Or
You
who's
need-
gonna sign it?
No, this is not a transaction, guys. This is the
Okay.
this is the action file, and we're going to use the action file within a transaction that we will submit after. Now we're only building the action file. What am I missing?
Oh God, the suspense is killing me.
Is it that thing you just highlighted?
Yes.
Why? Why the constitution hash? Why do you need that?
Why would I need
It was
that?
it was null, by the way. I think when you checked it, no?
No. The constitution script hash is the guardrail script hash. It's not null.
Okay.
Duh.
We need the script hash, guys, because the treasury expansion has a guardrail. Can you have a treasury expansion at 0? No. We have a guardrail.
Yeah. Okay.
So the minimum is 10%, and the maximum, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to check that, but the only fact that we have guardrails for that value or for any protocol parameters that we use, we need to mention the script hash within our governance action.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
You did mention that.
Do we have it? Yes, we do. And we took it from the governance state. And we can also take it from a query of the constitution itself. We have access to it on chain. We can use the hash. So constitution script hash.
So I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm seeing these are in brackets as well, and this is.
You want to be that guy? You really want to be that guy, Jonah? Really?
That guy.
You're that guy again? I have an answer for you, Jonah, because we do not need to have a constitution guardrail. Which means that if you submit a new constitution governance action, and you don't specify any guardrails, then you can
Yeah, you don't need it.
you can remove them from the constitution, and you remove all guardrails altogether. So since you have the possibility to do that, it cannot be required.
Because the guardrails are, they're not arbitrary, but in a way, it's not. It's rules that we're setting up and adhering to.
It is required if it exists on chain. It is not required if there's no guardrails.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So you can try to be that guy again. Can get you. Okay.
I do like the questions about the parentheses versus brackets, though. It's
Yeah,
interesting question.
we took one of the trickiest governance action to build, right? Because first you need to know what you're trying to change, and you need to have proper rationale, and this is very complicated to change a protocol parameter, because you have to have good rationales. You have to have a good reason to do that. And yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully, but not on CentroNet. We don't need to
Yeah, of
justify
course.
ourselves on CentroNet. Okay, so this here is the constitution script hash that I grabbed from the governance state. So I'm just going to paste it there. And of course, not forget my break line. But if I want to double check, I could go again into my governance state and go at the top of the page. And you see here the field, the constitution, the data hash, the IPFS of the constitution, and the script hash of the guardrail script. It's right there. Okay. We have it. We have it, guys. Is there anything else missing? No. So if I copy paste this,
Well done.
You have a typo
where?
in the first parameter, Conway. It starts with a
Capital.
uppercase. Yep.
Uppercase. Okay, fine.
Good eye. Wow.
I thought it was important enough to put a capital. in
Sevens is so good at that. I don't know how he does it, man.
It's a gift,
You never miss one.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to build it there because the return address is going to be the compromised wallet that I just built, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to use my own because I'm like that. Someone didn't...
But it's SanchoNet, Mike.
I know. Yeah, why not? Okay, fine.
You put your seed phrase up on a live
Yeah, I know.
stream.
He worked hard to get it, and he concentrated, and yeah, okay. So
It wasn't really compromised, though.
Did you put up the faucet seed phrase on the
no. That
No,
was
no.
Of course
No,
not.
just for this governance action example.
Okay,
Not that.
so for context,
Did you put up the rich UTXO key on the live stream?
That would be
that'd be hilarious.
insane.
Did you put the faucet seat for... No. That'd be funny though. Okay, let me just for context tell you, because it was a really funny one. Okay, so I've created this wallet, this eternal wallet on Sancho, and I showed to these guys how to derive their payment keys and stake keys from that seed phrase, from that mnemonic, but directly from their on their cold environment. So they could use the same wallet they have on internal, but on their cold environment, which is pretty cool. So that's what I did. But when I did it,
Yeah.
I posted the seed phrase, and it was obvious and super easily seeable. And like I usually do, I just make jokes about it and I make it bigger so everyone can see it because it's fun. But somebody in that meeting took it for real and started to do transactions with it as I was explaining. So I started to query the UTXO, and I was like, what? Oh, wait, what happened there? It's not the same amount. And then I see other UTXOs adding to it, and then, moving back and forth. And I was like, somebody copied the seed phrase. And anyway, that was just the funny part of it, but it did happen. My wallet has been compromised. So, okay. So from the compromised wallet, I'm going to build my action file. So all my information is there. It should work if I press enter. And it doesn't work. What did I do? Return stake key file. Yeah, what up? Return stake key file. Deposit return stake key file. Did I make a typo there? Return stake key
Must be, huh?
file. Invalid option. What is it then? Deposit return stake verification. Okay, fine. Okay. That's verification key file. My bad, guys. Return
It's alright, Mike.
verification key file. Okay, I fixed the typo. Well, Sevens, you didn't see this one. Blame's on you.
Hey, come on, Sevens.
If you didn't know about it, sorry.
Wake up, man.
Oh man, what's wrong? Verification stake key file. Wait, deposit. Oh man, really?
Return.
No,
Oh, you have it there.
I didn't put it at the right place. It's after return stake verification key.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna get it.
This is it. I can feel it.
No news, good news. We have an action file to submit. Yay! Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. If you wanted to, you could build this offline if you wanted to. But everything that I just did now, you can do it also online, because when you bring the body file offline, you can also verify it before you sign it. The advantage of building that online is that you can use the transaction build command, which will calculate the execution units and everything for you, also the fees, which is pretty cool if you ask me. If not, you can still build this offline by using transaction build raw. But if you do, you're gonna have to specify the execution unit, memory, and CPU. You would have to calculate it. I'm gonna use build command because I'm already supposed to be at work, and I'm I need to finish this real quick. So let's build a transaction, shall we? I'm gonna use a template too. It's gonna be easier like this. Let me just grab a template, and we're gonna go through it. Because if I type down, where did I put it? I don't know. Yeah.
It's a great workshop tonight, Mike. Thank you.
Conway transaction. If I type down transaction, even if I use the transaction build command, you will see that there is a lot that you can put on the transaction. Because you can mint NFT, you can run script, you can, you have all the datums and the redeemers and everything, required signers, all that beautiful stuff from the transaction build command. But we're not going to go through it all. It also includes votes. So I'm not going to do that.
Future workshops.
Yes, but I have documentation explaining all that already on my website.
Yeah, sure.
So I might just direct you to that if you want to know more. I'm just gonna grab a template. Where is that? Let me just see if I can get a good one. I need a transaction build.
I want to start a Shadow Hosky stake pool for SanchoNet. I just like the idea of Shadow Hosky.
Hey Samuel,
Yep.
did you guys fix the calculation of the execution units for the transaction build if I use the guardrail script of the Constitution?
Yeah, should be.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Why, you got an error?
No, because last time I did it, I used build raw command.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering if... Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Well, we could do that with build raw. Why not? I have a template for build raw. Let's do it with build raw.
The power is out at my house. I'm currently staring at a dark wall in the middle of my house. But that's my dedication to the Prestige Worldwide Consortium.
Yay! Guys, we forgot to do something. We forgot something very important. Here we have the governance state, our payment address and keys, the action file, which is there, our stake keys. We do not have the Pluto script. We need it. So we need to go get it. Let's go get it. So I'm going to go on my favorite website, which is cardano.org, into developer pad, start building, developer portal, get started, Cardano node, running Cardano node, and scroll down just a little bit to find the Cardano operation book environment. And I'm gonna go to CentroNet because that's what we're using, and I'm gonna go grab the compiled guardrail script. Copy link address, and I'm going to double get it in there. And I have it. This, my friends, is the guardrail script. Okay.
Can you just briefly explain why it wasn't already in your node?
Because I didn't get it.
Okay. It doesn't come automatically. It's something you have to grab.
Yeah,
regardless. Mainnet, testnet, everybody would have to go grab this, or is this part of a hard fork update? Would you get it?
No, you have to get it, but you can hash it to verify that it has the right hash, though, that it's the right script. But yes, you have to get it. It's not within the node. There's no query command to grab the script itself. You can get the hash, but not the script.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, my wife is getting really angry, guys. Gotta finish this.
Wait, We have covered a lot, Mike. To be fair, if
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. You think we could
it's
just?
been a great workshop, man.
I'm gonna get in trouble. Oh my god.
Yeah, of course, no problem, man.
But we're at the part of
I'm-
now. Let's just submit it, okay? Real quick, we'll just do it like, man. Okay, let's just change some.
This is the part of volunteerism that people don't get.
Yeah,
Don't put yourself at unnecessary risk, Mike. We need you, man.
Well, you know what?
Exactly.
If some people ask me if I should get paid for what I do, I'm gonna say my wife should get paid for what I do. If she gets money for this, she won't bother me. You know, that's the trick, guys. You pay my wife.
Hey, it could be a good catalyst proposal.
Yeah, that'll be hilarious. I need money to pay my wife to justify my my time on.
That's all the rationale you need. That's the rationale. That's it.
Yes,
Nothing
in
else.
Sanchonet, we pay our wives. Of course, it should be.
Yeah, right. I mean, get some marketing from the Cardinal girls. Like, pay the wives. Okay.
That's sexist.
No, not at all. Full of respect.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
As you can see from the build raw, there's something I forgot to mention. You need to provide the protocol parameter file. You need to query the protocol parameter. So I'm going to do it real quick. The command is cardano-cli conway query protocol parameters. Pretty simple. Enter, and there they are. But of course, I need to put that into a file. So out file, and I'm going to use the same name that they did. Yeah, I'm going to call it like this. So it match with what I got here on my command protocol parameter file. Okay, in my action, how did I call it? I called it pp change action.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, pp change action. Okay.
This is exciting.
So here in this command, you see there's some variables. There's change variable, there's fee variable, there's also yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I want to use variables, I'm gonna have to use the one that has been provided here, which is fee. They got one for UTXO value.
Yeah.
So I got one here, UTXO value. One for the deposit, but we already mentioned it. I don't need to put it there, do I? There's no mention of the deposit. I don't know why. Oh, for the fee calculations. Yes, I have to remove my governance section deposit. Okay, I'm gonna put it there too. Okay, so here's the thing, guys, in the change. Since I'm building this from the cold environment, I have to calculate everything. Which means that I gotta grab my UTXO, cardano-cli conway query UTXO address content of my payment.addr file, and that guy kept going. Okay, so whoever took the key, please stop. Because I'm gonna grab some UTXO now. Okay, so here I got money in it. So I'm gonna grab this one for the payment. Okay? But I also have to get the value. So for those here, governance section deposit. We already know that the value of this variable is 100,000. Okay? The UTXO value, so that's the value inside my wallet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I got 100,000. That's not enough. Is there only one input in there? Transaction in, transaction in. Okay, that's the collateral, that's the in. There's only one transaction in. Okay. So I'm gonna put 2. Okay, cool. I'm gonna cheat. I'm going to cheat. So I'm going to erase that. And I'm gonna put this in here. And I'm gonna put a 2. And I will reproduce the transaction in here 2 times. And I'm gonna put each one's value in it. So I'm gonna have 2 inputs for that because I need to pay the 100,000 and I need some money for the fees. So obviously I need more than the actual amount for the deposit. Collateral. This guy here is going to be my collateral. Oh, I just need the UTXO. That's right. This guy is going to be my... Oh, I need to put the UTXO as well. Forgot. Transaction in, collateral. Here. My UTXO. Index 0. Okay. I don't know why I've put these amounts. I just need to mention the UTXO. First one, index 0. And the second one, which is this one. Yeah, so those are my transaction in. Okay. Transaction out will be the content of my payment.ettdr. That's good. Plus the change that we will calculate here, which is going to be the content of my UTXO value minus the fee, which is a flat 50 cents, 50 buck cents, 50 central buck cents, central cents. How do you want to call that? Anyway, that amount. And minus the governance section deposit that I have to provide as well. Okay. So let's put those variables in there and it should work. Fee variable, that's done.
Sancho bits.
Yeah, let's put them all in there.
Sancho bytes.
Sancho bucks and Sancho bytes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that instance is going to allow me to put more than one variables at the same time, so I'm just going to make sure. Okay. Let's see. I want to echo the content of change. That seems right. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Cool. So I got my transaction in, transaction out, plus the change, which is this. Good. The redeemer value. Proposal execution unit that you normally don't need to mention if you use the transaction build, but since we build from the cold environment, we have to mention it. Proposal script, script file, that's the hardware script. Everything seems all right. Do we try it? PP change, out file, everything seems good. Let's try it. Oh. No news, good news?
PP change.
Okay. So what do I need? I only need my payment keys to sign for this transaction because that's where the money comes from. And I do not need to sign with my stake key even though I mention a stake address, because if I wanted to, I could have that governance action send the money back to Van's stake address if I wanted to, or somebody else's, so I don't need to sign with my stake keys. That's done. And let's cross fingers and see if the chain will take it. Nope. Proposal return account doesn't exist. Ooh! They fixed it! Nice! I cannot submit the governance section if my stake address is not registered. That's good. But since I don't want to mess up with that transaction, I'm going to use a different UTXO to...
Oh, you have lost.
You were involved in reporting that bug. How did you get it fixed?
No,
He did that on purpose.
I did it on purpose. I wanted to show them how to verify as well and how to check if somebody else has forgot it and show them how to rebuild the address.
That was all an act. They fixed it. You knew it was fixed already.
No, I wasn't sure because when I back then I couldn't.
Okay, have fun.
Okay, so you guys don't need to worry about that anymore. Yay! That's cool. Okay, so I need to register my stake address. How do I do that? Stake address registration. I'm going to build a registration cert. Just like this. I'm doing it real quick, but the command... I explained it.
Wait, weren't you using the wallet from Eternal for the...
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do it from the CLI, or yes, I could do it as well from Eternal directly and just delegate to a stake pool. It would work.
Right.
But what I'm afraid of is that if I do that for the transaction, it will spend one of the UTXO that I don't want it to spend. So I'm going to choose which UTXO I want to spend to do that, so it doesn't mess up with my governance action.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to build now my transaction. Wait, no, I'm just gonna put it in here, and for the transaction in that you see here, I'm going to use the right UTXO that I want to use, which is going to be this guy here. Transaction in, there you go, index 0. Yeah. Okay. With the registration cert. Transaction raw, that's good. I'm gonna have to sign it with both my stake key and my payment key and submit it to register my stake address. This is done. My stake address is registered. Let's check it to be sure. No, I don't want to. I'm too late for that. Okay, let's go move forward with the governance action. You guys, I did it in the last workshop. You weren't there because it was Friday and you blamed me for that, and I'm sorry. It was my wife's birthday.
I forgave you. It took time, but you sincerely apologized and I accepted it. Thank you.
So
and also I just want to you said girlfriend in the chat, by the way.
Yes, technically she's my girlfriend. I'm not married to her. I wanted to. I still want to. But it's too expensive for us, and we're poor. Oh, it's true.
More people get married. Anyway, that's a whole other can of catalyst money.
I need money for my wedding.
Now you're thinking. That's funny.
Dude,
hey,
I swear.
Great stuff tonight, though, guys. That was awesome.
Hey, wait, it's not submitted yet.
Don't need to be expensive, though. You don't need to do like the big 30,000.
Yeah, just go camping.
No, I know, but I want the big thing. I've been with her for almost 20 years. Okay. 4 kids, 20 years. She deserves something good.
Wow.
Right? I mean.
And you guys are already married, really.
Yeah, I know. It's just
pretty much a civil. What's it called? The common law marriage.
Yeah, but it's not enough. I want more than that. But eventually, things gonna turn well, and it's gonna happen. Okay. I'm going to try to submit it again and see if it works now. Oh my god!
This time next month you'll be rich, man. Don't worry.
It works! Which means that if to finish the workshop, query the governance state, I should see at the end of it my governance action. Look at that, guys! We made it. It's on chain. So now everyone can vote on it. Congratulations! We made a protocol parameter change governance sanction directly from our cold environment. So yeah, that's
super useful, to be honest, because it's like happening right now in mainnet, and like just to know exactly what it entails. It's very useful.
This one is one of the hardest to do, because normally the other types are way easier than this, right? But you just have to follow the brackets. Again, like I said, you just follow the list. You go through the list and you provide what needs to be provided with your governance section, you're going to make it. If not, if you have difficulties building one, just make sure to reach out to me, you know, anyone pretty much, Carlos, all those guys, they're going to help you. But I'm 100% available, right? I mean, nobody bothers me with that. And when I see people, again, when I see people crying about it on X and I propose my help for free, they don't reach out. They just go silent because it was fun to complain, but now they can't anymore because I provided an answer to their complaints. And you know how it is, right? So anyway, that was it. Thanks for coming, guys. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Mike. It was amazing.
Thank you, Mike. That was
As
amazing.
usual.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Amazing
Bye.
as usual.
Thanks,
Bye.
Mike, for taking
See
the
you
time
around, guys.
doing these. It's great to see so many people here, and thanks everyone that's come to check it all out.
Thanks for
Have your
coming,
fun.
Sam.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, Mike.